Welcome back to the podcast. It is Wednesday, and dude, we have got such a packed show today. The AI world is moving insanely fast right now.
I am Morgan, and yes, it is a busy week. Though, as always, I am here to figure out what is actual news and what is just marketing hype.
I am Taylor. Today's news is actually huge. We are talking brand new OpenAI models, AI agents in finance, and wild pricing updates. Okay, first up, I saw on TechCrunch that OpenAI just dropped GPT-5.5 instant. It is the new default model for ChatGPT, and honestly, it sounds so cool.
Wait, really? 5.5 already? I feel like we just got used to the last major update. What makes this instant version so special? Is it just a speed improvement?
It keeps the low latency, yeah, but the big deal is hallucination reduction. The decoder noted it has 52.5% fewer hallucinated claims on high-risk topics like medicine and law.
Okay, having hallucinations in law and medicine is actually a massive deal. But how do we know it is actually doing that? Did they add any verifiable transparency?
Yes, that is exactly the best part. They added this new feature called memory sources. It literally lets you see exactly which stored context shaped its specific response.
Oh, interesting. So it is pulling from past chats and files. That sounds incredibly useful, but also a bit of a privacy nightmare if it misinterprets personal data.
Maybe, but the deep personalization based on your Gmail and files is rolling out to Plus and Pro users first. Everyone gets the base model right away, though.
I will believe the hallucination drop when I test it myself. Still, making it the default model for everyone shows OpenAI is extremely confident in its stability.
Plus, the article mentioned this personalization stuff launches first for Plus and Pro users on the web, so they are definitely prioritizing paying customers.
Naturally, they have to justify that monthly subscription somehow. But if it genuinely reduces errors in professional contexts, people will happily pay for it.
Totally. And I think the memory sources feature is going to change how we trust AI. Being able to audit exactly why it said something is a game changer.
Agreed. Auditability is the missing piece for enterprise adoption. If they can actually prove where the model got its answers, that solves a huge compliance headache for corporations.
So, speaking of enterprise adoption, Anthropic is going hard after that corporate money. They just shipped 10 pre-configured AI agents specifically designed for the finance sector.
10 agents all at once? That is a massive rollout. What exactly are these agents supposed to be doing for investment banks and asset managers on a daily basis?
Dude, they automate all the heavy lifting. We are talking deep research, risk checks, compliance monitoring, and even financial accounting. The decoder says they are ready out of the box.
Right. Ready out of the box is a very strong claim for financial compliance. That is a heavily regulated industry. I imagine banks will still require strict human oversight.
Oh, for sure. But think about the thousands of hours saved. And apparently, both Anthropic and OpenAI are just racing to build these IPO-ready revenue streams right now.
That makes perfect sense from a business perspective. Selling specialized enterprise agents is where the real money is. It is vastly more lucrative than $20 monthly consumer subscriptions.
And it is not just basic stuff. The templates are specifically tuned for the rigorous demands of asset managers and insurers. It is highly specialized.
That specialization is key. General models fail at niche financial tasks. By pre-configuring them, Anthropic is removing a massive barrier to entry for these firms.
Exactly. Like, imagine having a tireless AI intern doing all your mundane compliance checks in seconds. It is a massive operational shift for Wall Street, honestly.
I just wonder how much these specialized agents are going to cost the banks. Enterprise AI pricing is usually pretty opaque, and agents can be notoriously expensive.
Yeah, but if it saves a bank millions in compliance fines, they will happily pay whatever Anthropic is charging. It is a total no-brainer for massive financial institutions.
True, the return on investment could be huge, but the integration process into legacy banking systems is going to be a nightmare. I want to see a real-world case study.
Well, funny you mentioned the cost of agents because that leads perfectly into our next story. ZDNet did a test on leading AI agents, and the pricing is completely wild.
Wild how? Like unexpectedly expensive or just impossible to predict? Because token pricing has always been a bit of a frustrating guessing game for developers.
Way beyond a guessing game, dude. They found that the amount of tokens these agents consume is vastly different from one to the next, with absolutely zero transparency.
That is the fundamental flaw with autonomous agents right now. If they get stuck in a reasoning loop trying to solve a task, they just burn through tokens.
Exactly. And the absolute worst part is there are no guarantees of success. You could pay a small fortune for an agent to run all night and get nothing.
That is genuinely terrifying for a small business or a solo developer. You give an agent a budget, and you might wake up to a massive cloud computing bill.
Right. And imagine if you deployed multiple agents interacting with each other, the token usage could multiply exponentially before you even realize what is happening.
A multi-agent feedback loop is a literal nightmare scenario for your AWS bill. Companies need robust fail-safes before letting these systems run completely unsupervised.
Right? It is literally like handing a blank check to a robot. Developers really need to figure out how to put hard limits on these things before deploying them.
Absolutely. Until we get standardized cost controls or predictable flat rate pricing models, deploying autonomous agents at scale is going to remain a massive, unpredictable financial risk.
I saw some people on Twitter saying they accidentally spent hundreds of dollars just testing a simple coding agent. The tooling for budget caps needs to catch up fast.
It really does. If the industry wants agentic workflows to be the next big paradigm shift, they cannot expect users to just accept infinite, unpredictable billing cycles.
Okay, let's pivot to something a little more fun and less financially terrifying. TechCrunch reported that Etsy just launched its own native app right inside ChatGPT. How cool is that?
Oh, wow. A native app inside ChatGPT? I know OpenAI has been pushing custom GPTs for a while, but a full app experience sounds different. What is the interface like?
It is basically a fully conversational shopping experience. You just chat with the AI, tell it what kind of weird, vintage, or handmade stuff you want, and it finds it.
I mean, that could genuinely be useful for finding highly specific, niche gifts, but why build this inside ChatGPT instead of just improving the search on their own website?
Because that is where the users are hanging out. It is part of Etsy's big AI push. Instead of making people scroll through endless pages, they just talk naturally.
I suppose if the new GPT-5.5 model is better at personalization, it might actually give fantastic gift recommendations, but I remain a bit skeptical about buying things through a chatbot.
Totally. And it just shows how companies are realizing that conversational interfaces might actually replace traditional search bars for certain types of online shopping.
It is a fascinating experiment. If the friction of finding unique items is lower in a chat window, traditional e-commerce sites might be in serious trouble.
Dude, conversational commerce is totally the future. You are just going to be chatting with your AI assistant, and boom, a custom handmade ceramic mug just shows up at your door.
As long as it doesn't hallucinate the shipping address or accidentally order 10 mugs because of an infinite agentic loop, I might actually be willing to give it a try.
See, even you are coming around to the AI shopping hype. I am definitely going to use it to find some weird vintage tech gear this weekend.
Well, let me know how much that ends up costing you. Hopefully, the Etsy bot doesn't have the same unpredictable token pricing as those enterprise agents we talked about.
Well, we covered a lot today, from GPT 5.5's hallucination drop to rogue agent bills and AI shopping. The AI space is just wild right now.
It really is. Just remember to keep a close eye on those token limits if you are building with agents.
Thanks for listening. That is it for today. We will be back tomorrow with more AI news.